The disintegration rifle, or more formally known as ion disruptor rifles, were a class of weapon that fired a loose burst of ionized plasma that could tear the atoms of a living being apart. They were originally designed for anti-aircraft use on planet-side battles, but soon gained use as slow-firing but devastating handheld weapons. So hit that subscribe button and let's break down the horrifying weapon of Boba Fett and Din Djarin and why it was made illegal. And before we get into it, I want to thank today's sponsor, Owner Saber. For incredibly sleek and well-built lightsabers at a cheap price, check out Owner Saber's store. There are many sabers of all varieties and surely one for you. This week only, they have a 30% off sale on all orders as well as free shipping to go along with it. On top of that, if you use the code FORCE, you'll get an extra $15 off at checkout. Link is in the description. The disruptor class of weapons originates all the way back from the time of the Old Republic, wreaking havoc across many worlds and likely causing panic among the population. They were a vicious and devastating group of weapons that tore apart their victims at the molecular level, destroying their tissues and exciting all nerves at once. These earlier models of disruptors though didn't actually destroy a target immediately, allowing a searing pain to rush through every single nerve in the victim's body, creating one of the most cruel and inhumane methods of killing that the galaxy had ever seen. As a result, the weapon was soon banned by the Republic government, forcing them off into the dark and shady criminal underworlds of planets like Coruscant and Corellia. Because of this, they soon became highly sought after weapons, especially by Mandalorians and bounty hunters. This is because around this time, the development of the personal energy shield was kicking into full gear, and many bounty targets were using these shields to escape bounty hunters. The disruptor class of rifles though were able to break through these shields and hit the target inside, something which regular blasters could never do. Now, sometime after this, rapid advances began to come forward in the disruptor class of rifles, turning them from primitive and crude weapons into a more effective means of destruction. The most major leap came when the Empire created the T7 ion disruptor rifle, which was originally designed to puncture the hulls of starships and disable their electronics. Soon after though, they began being used on organic life forms just like their older and more crude ancestor weapons, leading to horrific exterminations on planets like Lasat, the home of Garazebarelios, nearly wiping their people out completely. Survivors of this horrid event described the victims being disintegrated atom by atom, resulting in a slow, painful and excruciatingly dreadful death. After hearing of the extermination of the Lasat people, the Imperial Senate were absolutely outraged and disgusted, immediately outlawing the weapons and blacklisting any planets who produced them. This then leads to the final known variant of the disruptor class rifles, the Amban Phase Pulse Blaster or the Amban Sniper. This one is used by Din Djarin and Boba Fett and was designed to be slightly more humane than the previous versions, although nobody can confirm or deny this because of how fast they can kill. These weapons had a long barrel and a brown stock and were tipped by fork-shaped resonators, which fired a bolt that disintegrated any organic, carbon-based life on impact. Because of how similar these weapons were to the ones used on the Lasat people and the harmless nature of them being completely unproven, they were never fully legalized. This means that they still remain staples of the criminal underworld and the Mandalorian people, all who try to operate outside of the bounds of Imperial or Republic law. So we pretty much just have to hope that the people killed by this newest generation of disruptor rifles were wiped out too quickly to experience pain. But given Darth Vader's no disintegrations line to Boba Fett, there is probably evidence to go against that. Thanks so much for watching guys, really hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of Star Wars lore. There will be plenty more coming, so hit that subscribe button and leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.